All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is contact report number 48, and it was translated by the DeepL translator. Corrections and improvements made by Catherine Mossman and Joseph Darmanin, and the contact persons are Quetzal and Semjase. Oh, by the way, the DeepL translator is a commercial computer program, basically. It's online. You can access it to translate most anything you want. It's not a particular person. It's more of a, I don't know, maybe it's even an AI. I don't know, but it's not a person. So, here we go. Contact report 48, and this is Sunday, the 14th of March, 1976, at midnight, roughly 0004. Billy, I'm glad you two are coming to see me. Do you have anything special? Semjase, certainly. Quetzal has something to talk about with you. Quetzal, it is important that you keep quiet about these matters. Billy, if that is what you wish, that is fine. You really sent me up that mountain. Quetzal, it is a good place here. In the future, Semjase will relocate the landing site from time to time. Everything has become very uncertain because various elements are interested in our concerns in negative form, as you yourself have already noticed. Billy, unfortunately, I also had to be brought here by car today because yesterday the gas cable on my vehicle broke. He's talking about his moped. My colleague, Jacobus, I'll use Jacobus, but anyway, has brought me here, and now he is waiting alone in the meadow about 2 kilometers from here. Quetzal, that is very kind of him. He is quite helpful. Pass along my thanks to him. He should not have gone to all this trouble for nothing. When I leave, I will thank him by letting him see my beamship. I will also give him a little demonstration by doing an electric energy elimination, which he can observe very well. What will happen is that I create an energy ball with electricity drawn from the atmosphere, which I then eliminate completely by a combustion process. But he has to be patient a little bit because under a height of 2,500 meters, I am not allowed to do that because the burning energy falls to the earth and is very hot. So that he can observe everything closely, I will climb up very slowly. Okay, Semjase, I also want him to see my ship when I fly away. But now to other things. In the meantime, I have been able to clarify who this is on the audio tape you recently gave us for analysis. The person is a certain Dick Miller. This man was unknown to me until recently, but he is mentioned by you or your friends in one of the lists. With certainty, we can explain to you now, however, that he is to be classified as a fraud. At the moment, he is thinking of hiding, as you call it, because he fears that the scams he has committed will become known. However, his will to do so is not evident, as in the case of Menger, for example, who has been staying for some time in a place where he thinks he is safe from being stalked, to which he adds the lie that he has left Earth with extraterrestrials, which, by the way, other deceivers also do in this form. It is a very popular game of them to avoid their responsibility. Billy, that is interesting. Is it possible to find out where he is hiding? Quetzal, we have no right to name his hiding place, for such matters do not fall within our jurisdiction. We have to respect the will of every form of life, even if it lives a lying and deceitful life. In addition, sooner or later, they are likely to reappear in the public eye. Billy, I understand. I do not want to get you into any trouble. Quetzal, then I would like to discuss some things with you now. ... And in parentheses, the conversation with Quetzal lasts 25 minutes, but unfortunately, what has been discussed cannot be revealed. End quotes, in parentheses. Billy, I will stick to it and keep quiet. Quetzal, then I will go now. Goodbye, dear friend, and pay a little more attention to your health. Billy, that is easy to say. I have a lot of work to do. Quetzal, I am aware of that, but you should be moderate in all your efforts. You are depleting yourself with your powers. Billy, you all have it the same, but one day everything will be a little calmer again. Quetzal, you are simply incorrigible. But if you do not become reasonable yourself, then we have to do something. Your powers are too much to use. You cannot work so much. Billy, I have to take care of everything myself because I do not have a substitute yet. Semjase, sure, it is thus, but you should not eat up your last reserves. Any other life form would have long since been left this world if it used as much as you do. I will therefore in the next days contact the High Council in order that you will receive fewer messages from Patali because this is your main work. And I'll read that again. I will therefore in the next days contact the High Council in order that you will receive fewer messages from Patali because this is your main work. It is unacceptable that you should have to deal with such a large workload. Haste and enlightenment may be very necessary, but you should also think about yourself, for when you are at the end of your rope, you will no longer be able to fulfill your task. Billy, somehow I will manage it. I still have some time yet. Quetzal, if you go on like this, you will affect that time. You have to consider that. You are close to a physical breakdown, so be careful and spare yourself. Billy, of course, but I have no right to be lazy. I have committed myself to the task, which is why I have to do it. Time is pressing, and I have to do everything before time runs out. My work is much more important to humanity than a few years of life. Of course, I can still miss some very important things, and some things do not come into existence and are not dealt with, but I am of the opinion that I can still catch up in a next life as another personality. My spirit form still has a few million years to go. He says they say we've been reincarnated tens of thousands of times. So yeah, he's got a few to go. Quetzal, of course, but you must not think like that. You must not put yourself at a disadvantage, which is why I turn to the High Council. Billy, you are all really the same. Also in my group, I always hear the same thing. I cannot just throw everything away and go on holiday. Semjase, but you need more rest and recuperation. Billy, then just do what you must. Quetzal, that is what we are going to do. But now I will go. Goodbye. Billy, goodbye, Quetzal. All the best. Quetzal, that is also my wish for you. Goodbye. Billy, then we can have a little chat, Semjase, yes? Semjase, sure, but it cannot be too long because you look very tired. Billy, oh no, I'm fine. Look at this. These are notes I received from Germany. Can you tell me more about whether these are accurate? And in parentheses, Semjase occupies herself with the notes for a few minutes. Semjase, some things are of accuracy, but mostly in reverse form. The divine aspects, etc., are completely misplaced as well as various other things. This here, the beamship evaluation, is completely wrong and corresponds to reality in no wise. However, I am not allowed to make any explanatory statements about this. I still have some of your writing material. I will use it to arrange these notes a little bit, after which I will hand them back to you. The arrangement of the solar system plane is somewhat correct in reverse form. However, it is universally applicable and is not limited to this solar system. Here, for example, the will is placed in a completely wrong place, namely where the ability to think belongs. But I will work things over a bit, and then I will give you back the notes. Maybe in a month or two. I can get everything back to you. Until then, you can make my explanations available to the person which I gave you last year regarding the 7 by 7 periods. Billy, that is interesting. You really understand these notes? Semjase, certainly. Why? Billy, I could not figure it out. Semjase, this is because you know the truth and find this erroneous arrangement disconcerting. Billy, so I'm a little stupid then. Semjase, that is not what is meant. It is based on the fact that you cannot adjust yourself to this false configuration, because according to your state of knowledge and evolution, it corresponds to a much lower form. Billy, then let us leave it at that. You can deal with it. Semjase, I will thus do what I said. Billy, then it is good. But now I have a question concerning contact with the afterlife. Should the human deal with it or not? Semjase, your question is very illogical. You know that Earth human should not, under any circumstances, deal with this nonsense, even if certain preconditions could ever require such illogical actions. Billy, I am aware of that, but I would like to have a profound explanation about it. Can you give me this? I think she's already done it a couple times. Semjase, of course, but for my part, I do not want to do this one more time. So I will try to ask the High Council to give you a useful statement from a higher level on this matter as well. Billy, you mean from Patali? Semjase, no, we should not contact the Patali level about such things. I am thinking of Arahat Atharsada. From that level, it is rather possible to get a corresponding answer. Billy, you mean that Arahat Atharsada will contact me again only because of this question? Semjase, sure, because for much of the earthly humankind, the answer to this question is of great importance. That is probably why you asked the question again. You must have been made aware of it. Billy, maybe you are right. I am often asked questions. Semjase, certainly that is not to be avoided. The present time brings with it many questions for the earth humans. Billy, you say that to me, of all people. But how about now when I want to record your voice on a tape? Do you mind? Semjase, do I have to deal with this again? You had my answer already a year ago. Billy, certainly, but a great deal has changed in the meantime, and Mr. Jacob has, so to speak, gone his own way. He was the one who had something to complain about all the time, which is why you disconnected everything. And Quetzal wants to make an exception for my colleague so he can see him. And also, you promised that you want to show yourself to some of our group in the near future. Semjase, sure, and I want it to be as I said. Well, I want to reconsider these things. Your words are good and worth considering. Billy, that is nice. You are very sweet. Semjase, be very careful, dear friend. You touch my feelings. Billy, thank you. You are explaining a lot once again. Do you not ever worry that I might fall around your neck? Semjase, why should I? Billy, because it might happen one day. Semjase, I would not mind. Billy, thank you. You are very open. On the other hand, there is nothing bad behind it. Semjase, you and I know that, but the Earth humans would misunderstand what has already happened because they think in other forms and do not know love according to the sevenfold laws and recommendations. Billy, unfortunately, you are right about that, and often I feel quite lost in this world because of it. Semjase, that is understandable. But now I would like to tell you something new, which might interest you as well as all group members. In the course of time, I will be assigned a new beamship. This is one of the latest designs. Just get a new beamship. Billy, what happens with this ship then? Semjase, it remains in operation and is taken over by Quetzal. In addition, the 2 reconnaissance aircraft will be replaced by the latest designs, and the total number of our ships will be increased to 7. Billy, oh well, that makes for quite an armada. Can I photograph them all together? Semjase, that I will see about. Anyway, you shall take several pictures of my new ship. Billy, what does the new vehicle look like? Semjase, the measurements remain approximately the same and only small changes occur in the outer cladding. The great innovations are housed inside and offer many more possibilities. That is the case in my current ship. With the new one, I am also able to penetrate dimensions in both directions. The ship that she has right now will only go one way. She can't get back out. So, Billy, then many things will actually be new. Semjase, certainly. But now you should go. Farewell and goodbye. Billy, too bad. It just got interesting. But your wish is my command. Goodbye, girl. Perhaps I dream of you. That is the end of Contact Report 48. Semjase is getting a new ship and all kinds of stuff going on. Anyway, I'll catch you again on 49. Have a nice day. Bye.